You are welcome to the number one podcast, the Fan Tactics Show. How are you doing? My name is Renz, and I'm here in the studio with my ebullient co-host, Sabubu Elkun. What's good, Sabubu?
A lot is good because we are doing the FIFA, waiting to record that thing.
Club World Cup.
Good. And by virtue of how everything is panning out, we are at pre-season mode. Now, the FIFA Club World Cup is going, but a couple of coaches are complaining about what they expect when the season starts. For Pep, that is playing Al Hilal, he made a statement that his team will be destroyed when the Premiership season starts. Well, they are there for the money. It's nobody's business. Klopp is outside the arena of how things are, and he has stated his own concern. But that is their business. Let's go down to what has happened in the tournament.
Yeah, the FIFA Club World Cup has thrown up some excitement. There has been some talking points. There has been some amazing matches, and of course, there have been some other incidents that, of course, are directly related to football, but are not, under the control of man in form of the weather and the likes. About 6 matches have been suspended due to adverse weather conditions. And the worst of all was when Chelsea and Benfica round of 16 fixture was suspended for over...
They had like 7 minutes to go in that match.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Over 2 hours. And it was crazy. Sabubu, I know say man no dey control weather, but is there something that FIFA was missing? Is there something that the organizers were missing with how this situation has been handled?
Do you want me to be honest with you? Right now, we have to talk about the environmental factors. Why do I say so? United States of America hosted the World Cup in 94. And it was same this period, the summertime, and we didn't have issues like this. The only issues we had back then was the heat. And they made sure that a lot of stadiums had industrial fans. Those of you that were not big enough, then you can go to the YouTube and you would see during those matches. Now, when I mean environmental factors, remember when they keep screaming global warming, ozone layer, this is
the direct result.
This is the direct result of it. The World Cup in America was held 31 years ago. You can see how far and the damage,
how much climate has changed.
Yeah, so as it is, we have to get used to it. Remember, in Africa, the Nations Cup can't be played in summer because of the heavy rains. That's why the Nations Cup mostly takes place in January.
We have summer,
and February.
Yeah.
Well,
we have rainy season, we have dry season, we have harmattan.
Right in Africa, the rainy season is more severe than 10, 15 years ago. Because 10, 15 years ago, before the rains come up, you don't hear the government talking about flooding. But by January, February, March, every government in every country is talking about flooding. I remember that because of the excess rain that is happening, the dams are always full. They need to open them so they can release some water. That's when you begin to hear Cameroon was flooded, Nigeria was flooded and everything. So we have to get used to it. Now, coincidentally, America is hosting
the next World Cup, which is next year.
And one coach that is trying to build his own reputation was making noise yesterday. His name was Enzo Maresca, saying if America was a right host for the tournament, I just hope the FBI doesn't pick him up before he leaves America.
No, it's not about attacking, the infrastructure or the locality. Mm-hmm. He's talking about organization, and I kind of relate with him because even Christian Chivu, the manager of Inter Milan, has also come out to say it is not ideal for players. How do you keep them focused on the match, having to wait for over 2 hours before you continue a game that it was just 7 minutes to complete?
You want to strike them. Let's talk about the results.
Thunder, no worry. Thunder no go fire anybody. Anyways, moving on from
in the
that,
round of 16,
they have to figure that thing out before World Cup.
You know what?
Because I no go there. So when we don't press Costa Rica neck, they'll come say, "Mo, go inside."
Which country is that?
That's if we even go World Cup. That story for another day.
So the round of 16 started on Saturday with Palmeiras versus Botafogo. And for two Brazilian sides that were expecting the samba style, the pressing, the game was The game was like, sorry to say, if you're in Nigeria, it was like up Nepa. The game would peak
Up and on and
up,
off,
yeah.
up and down.
But the match that really brought us into the fray of the tournament was the Benfica versus Chelsea. If that weather issue had not happened, Chelsea would have won that match by 1-0,
Yeah.
but they were in control.
Yeah.
But the weather thing and breaking momentum, then the penalty that everybody was saying it was not a penalty. I guess that penalty got Chelsea very upset. And extra time, they went all guns blazing against Benfica.
Yeah. Well, earlier in the competition, you saw European sides struggling to adapt
Yes.
to the heat and the temperatures, the environmental factors, like you said. But gradually they are acclimatizing, and it's allowed the game to open up. It has allowed them to really express themselves.
Okay.
So Chelsea, of course, fatigue will catch up with you, but having 2 hours, of course, there's a positive and a negative side.
Sure.
You are a little bit more rested, and of course, you have lost a little bit of focus. So they came into that second half or second part?
Second part of the
It's the
second half.
part of the
second
second
half.
half. And they came out, there were little lacks. Benfica came out on the front foot, won a penalty because it was a penalty. I mean, there's no argument about that. And then Chelsea somehow found a way to rain a blitz on Benfica. And they are through to the quarterfinals where they'll face Palmeiras. That's Estevão Willian, future Chelsea player versus his future employers.
Sure.
It's going to be an amazing one. But on from that, we also saw
we saw
the real Messi.
Well, that match took place on a Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Then on Saturday, a tournament that the Europeans know how to use very well to build talents. The European Under-21 championship was played between Germany versus England, and England won that match 3-2 after extra time. Javier Elliott was voted the player of the tournament. If you know him, he plays for the current English champions, Liverpool. And we saw how Europeans know how to groom stars. Now, when Europe keeps winning the World Cup, people should not complain.
At all.
Because they are doing the right thing.
Because they don't complain.
They don't complain. South Americans, the edge they have over Africans are their players tend to go to Europe very, very early.
And
adapt.
easily.
Yes.
And easily.
You understand? So they adapt. So England won that. Then on Sunday, we had Paris Saint-Germain versus Inter Miami. And we saw the flawless and destructive nature of PSG.
Now, if you play Mortal Kombat, you will know what they call flawless victory. I mean, PSG really had to get out of second gear.
Yeah.
4-0 up at halftime comfortably. And I kind of feel like, out of maybe I don't know if it's respect or just to conserve their energy.
They conserve their energy,
you understand?
For whosoever they are meeting.
Because all of us know that this FIFA Club World Cup is going to affect you. It's going to affect these teams going into the season. They will be exhausted.
Yes.
They will be more occupied. And of course, physically, they'll be drained. So they were conserving their energy, which is a useful tactic. But unfortunately, we saw the GOAT, or one of the GOATs, one of the member of the GOAT committee, he was dropped. And this might be one of the last times we see him on such a global stage.
We're going to see him he's going to play in the World Cup. After the next World Cup is finished.
We don't know about that.
Then the last match for Sunday, round of 16, was Flamengo versus Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
And Bayern Munich went up 2-0. And Ongo and Harry Kane took that lovely shot from outside the 18. Flamengo put one back via their captain.
The penalty spot.
You saw the Germans. They just went at them. The match ended 4-2. Now, the irony of it, Flamengo beat Chelsea. Bayern Munich beat them. Benfica beat Bayern Munich. Chelsea beat Benfica.
This life, no balance. That's all I have to say.
Then, finally, for us, from the shores of Nigeria, we have a new FA Cup winner. Kwara United won the Nigerian FA Cup for the first time in their history. They will represent Nigeria in the CAF Confederations Cup.
Yeah.
Now, it's a good victory for them. I won't take it away from them. But it shows one thing, that the big teams did not really take the tournament very serious. Now, the fear I have is they go to the African continent and they are embarrassed.
Now, to be honest, they I don't know how to put it so I don't sound disrespectful to all our competitors in the Nigerian football space. But watching clubs from Africa in the Club World Cup, I mean, they might not have progressed to
But they went
other
toe to
stages,
toe with the
but you watch
Europeans.
the likes of Esperance de Tunis, you
Mamelodi
watch
Sundowns,
Mamelodi
Raja
Sundowns,
Casablanca. No,
yeah,
Wahid
Wydad
and
Casablanca,
Al
and
Ali.
Al Ali. You watch them, tee up against high quality opposition, and they were able to give a good account of
You know the
themselves.
funny thing is, if you never knew these teams were from Africa, you would think they're continental teams, the way they were playing. There was no fear, especially Mamelodi Sundowns when they played against Borussia Dortmund. They were awesome. Yes, Chelsea beat Esperance, but we saw the
There
way
was
there
there
was
was
that
competitiveness,
organization was there.
yeah.
Same with Al Ali, because if Al Ali had beaten Inter Miami, they would have been the one playing
Playing, yes.
against PSG.
So, in essence, what we are trying to say is there is a lot of talent in the Nigerian environment. It's not for ability. We are not lacking in ability, but we have to put together our resources, our organizations, our regulatory bodies to increase the quality and the standard of our football competition locally. Once again, congratulations to Kwara United. I did my NYC in Kwara, by the way, so
Stop Sean.
yes, I am, and I was, and I am a supporter of Kwara United. So very proud and excited and happy for them for putting a trophy on their cabinet. Some people trophy cabinet cobwebs dey there, but some people they never even get trophy cabinet before because we know they win they eat it. But Kwara United is not one of them anymore. So congratulations to them. And going forward, we hope to see Nigerian teams delivering. I mean, a lot of teams are, blazing the trail in this regard. So we hope that we can continue the evolution
Yeah,
to get better.
and like this FIFA Club World Cup, the African seeds. How African seeds came about was Al Ali was given the seed because they won the Champions League like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Mamelodi Sundowns were given the seed because they won the Champions League like last season or so, right? Now, Wahid won it about 3 seasons ago. Then Esperance were given a seed because of their performance via coefficient. Same
Yeah.
with Mamelodi Sundowns. Remember, they lost the last Champions
Yeah.
League against Pyramids of Egypt. So before any Nigerian team can be given
Can get
invitation,
into the
they
picture.
would have to win the Champions League in the next 2 years or get to the final
Or
at least twice.
consistently
Get to the semi-finals or finals.
progress,
You
make
understand?
deep progress in the
So that is it.
competition. Yeah. So the marker has been laid down for our teams. Make una show workings, home and abroad. On that note, we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we go put mouth for transfer market because Zubi Michael is on his way to Arsenal. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the show. Our dear darling viewers, how are you guys doing? As it stands, we want you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow and like our Facebook page, our Instagram handle, follow. Now we're back to the FIFA, what do they call that thing?
Club World Cup.
Okay, good. We have Tuesday matches and we have the killers. Man City versus Al Hilal.
Al Hilal.
That is match of the millionaires.
Yeah, of the oil, the Middle East
If I will
millionaires.
call it Arab money.
Arab money, that's the word.
Then later in the night, we have Real Madrid versus Juventus.
Juventus.
Classic European tie.
Yeah, those are the European behemoths.
So-
the old school. That's the old money of Europe.
Yes. So Man City, Al Hilal, what do you think will come out that
Well,
match?
Al Hilal are looking pretty good for a Saudi side.
They are
They
playing
are
more like
coached by a very astute tactician in Inzaghi. So they are going to give Man City a run for their money. But of course, Man City are looking imperious right now. So I'll back them to go through. And then for
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid Juventus, Alonso has set up Real Madrid nicely. I was having a conversation with one of my friends who is a Barcelona fan
Okay.
over the weekend, and I told him, look, I know you've been steamrolling over Real Madrid this season, 4 victories, and you're feeling like nothing is happening in Madrid right now. But if what we are seeing at the Club World Cup is anything to go by, the rudimentaries of high-level tactical football has returned to Real. They control the game better. They have short, sharp interchanges, and they progress the ball very quickly up the pitch. So you're going to also see them produce a performance that is too much, likely produce a performance that is too much for Juventus to handle. Juventus are also an interesting side. So, of course, they are not going to bend over and just take it from Real Madrid. But I believe Real have what it takes to go through. So we
Yeah,
might be seeing
the
a Man
match,
City Real Madrid fixture.
the match is going to be very interesting because Igor Tudor is trying to impact his style on Juventus. Even they were very unlucky against City in the group stage. The match was end to end,
Yeah.
and I saw a Juventus that we used to know back then, coached by when Marcelo Lippi was there,
And
and
even
Antonio Conte. That
Yes.
style, that aggressiveness is
Aggressive,
coming
yes.
back to them. So I hope I'm not using this tournament to judge them, but I think they are well positioned to give Napoli and Inter a run for their money in
when
the
league
upcoming
turns
Serie A.
up.
Then on Wednesday, the last of the round of 16 matches is Borussia Dortmund versus Monterrey.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how that match is going to pan out, but the way Montreal are playing, they've not lost any match in this tournament. I don't know if this is Sergio Ramos' factor, because this is a Canadian club punching above their weight. And Dortmund is trying to build a team to rival Bayern, not even Leverkusen as it is. Because in Germany, they're the second most successful team in Germany. They have the money, they have the crowd, they have good sponsors and all. And that match, they would have to take their chances when they get it, because if there's one thing I know about Montreal, they know how to defend very well.
Yeah. So apparently, Sergio Ramos has, brought his high, quality defending ability, his high level of leadership and experience, and he has been able to communicate confidence to that back line. Now, we all know that there's, a kind of lacuna or a disparity between European teams and North Americans and maybe South American teams. Not just because of talent, because most times you see these North Americans, South Americans, and all the likes. It's a potpourri of talent when it comes to Europe. So we are going to see a more closely competitive match. Why? Because there are two teams that are, kind of in the same caliber. So it's going to be a close call, but I'll expect both sides to score in that fixture. Who goes through? I can't really predict that.
Dortmund has not been good defensively in this tournament.
Yeah.
Especially that match against Mamelodi Sundown. But they can score.
They can.
That's another thing again. Both sides to score, I believe, but it might not really be a high-scoring match.
Another thing I would agree with. Yeah, so that's that for the FIFA Club World Cup round of 16. And then we'll just be keeping our eyes onto the quarterfinals. Now, talking about the FIFA Club World Cup, a couple of teams, even though involved in the competition, are busy making moves in the market, e.g. a certain English side, Chelsea, who have, announced or who have agreed deals for 2 attackers. Now, last week, we were, in discussion about a certain NG, according to you.
Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, so Jackson, due to his, hot-headedness, had already been causing Chelsea to have second thoughts about him.
Let me break down Chelsea's attack for you so you understand the kind of attackers they would unleash on the Premiership next season. Jamil Giltins from Borussia Dortmund is already a done deal.
Yeah.
You're waiting for the announcement. He's a slicky English winger who can play from any part of the wings and he can even attack. William Estevao.
William, yeah.
We know what he's going to bring into that team next season. Joao Pedro is a they're almost done with the negotiations. They're just trying to trash out.
No, they have actually
No,
agreed the deal.
they're
In fact,
trashing out the
let me
instrumental payments.
to be candid, João Pedro is even more certain right now than Bino Gittins. So João Pedro is settled. He's coming to Chelsea
Liam Delap has been bought already. That's 4 players.
4 new
then
attackers.
A player is coming in 2026. That's Giovanni
Quenda. Yeah.
Now you have a Nicholas Jackson in that team,
Pedro
and you
Neto.
have an Nkunku in that team. Now
you have Pedro Neto. You have Kopama.
You
have Kendry Press, who is going to Strasbourg.
Then you have a mad wicket that is drawing attention from the
Newcastle and Arsenal. Yeah.
So as it is, Maresca is going to be under pressure next season. He doesn't have a choice.
Definitely.
Because Chelsea is $1 billion squad as it stands.
They have been $1 billion squad already, but I
now,
get what you're saying.
Officially now, the whole world will now say this is $1 billion. You know, people didn't want to say it initially. This is $1 billion squad. How he goes about it is going to be his big problem. I don't know if they'll be able to sign the AC Milan goalkeeper.
Might not.
That's another thing they need to sort out, because 1 or 2 keepers will have to leave. They have 3 goalkeepers presently as we speak.
I think they have more than 3, but yeah.
Okay, the defense, we don't even know what's up with that defense.
So, Sabu, this is one of the things I wanted to, just seek your opinion on. You were talking about Chelsea being officially a $1 billion squad now, or a £1 billion squad. Looking at that squad, do you think that 1 billion has been wisely spent?
Can I tell you something? When we started this show, August last year, before the Premiership started, I said something about if there's any team that can create chances, it's Chelsea. And in football, I don't know about any other person. My school of thought is you can play sexy football, have 80 to 20 possession. If you don't win the match, it's as good as useless.
Yeah, true.
Chelsea has a team that can put a lot of other teams to bed if they take their chance. They will create chances. That is one good thing about them. If they don't take their chances, that's where the problem starts. Because when you're playing, you're not taking your chances, doubt creeps in gradually.
My own is, do you think they spend the money wisely? Look at their squad.
No,
they have attackers. Look at the midfield. Look at the defense. Look at the goalkeeper. Chelsea's $1 billion. You think they spend the money wisely?
Well, when it comes to attackers, that is one area. Good. Chelsea's biggest problem is that defense and goalkeeper. That's where there's always a I won't say a missing link, a weak link. They've not been able to replace what's the name of that Brazilian? Thiago Silva very, very well. Silva was the replacement to a John Terry.
Yeah.
Now he has gone. They've not replaced him very well. And top defenders are not in abundance in the world. Back then, you could get a defender for 5 million. If you want a top-notch defender now, you're going to be coughing out between 50 to 60 million.
On average.
On average. How do you want to get it? That's why you see that guy Arsenal wants to buy from Valencia. It's a kill.
At 17 million.
It's a kill. At the end of the day, 20 million. It's a kill. You get... You didn't see how much Pep spent in January?
Yeah. Madrid bought Huizin for 50 million. So Huizin was his partner in the under-21s for Spain. So it's crazy. And I understand, but I just wanted you because, Chelsea fans, for all they can brag.
The midfield attack, awesome. You see that defense
and goalkeeper position.
That is where they should have first. Because the other players, there's one thing about you trying to get a player and the player is interested in you. Then you want to get the player and you have to convince that player to come and play for you.
Yeah.
All these players that we're talking about, other clubs wanted them, but when Chelsea came, they wanted to go to Chelsea.
Yeah.
They catch the Champions League. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
If you put a Chelsea and a Newcastle in the Champions League, it's expected that Chelsea will do better than them.
Better than Newcastle.
You get what I'm talking about? Same with Spurs.
Yeah.
And they've been building already.
Yeah.
Newcastle, Isak, if the money comes in, they will sell.
They go Saka.
You get what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So the stable teams in the Premiership are City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Those are the teams that you can't come and bully them with all their players. They have the money now.
Yeah.
They're not paying any backlog of loans.
Yeah.
But as much as Newcastle are raking, if tomorrow Brighton brings 150 million, Isak will go.
to Brighton.
Yes, that's
That is one quote from Sabubu to brighten your day. Talking about Brighton now, Chelsea is now Brighton extension. I saw somewhere online.
defeat that team.
I saw somewhere online that Chelsea owners made a mistake. They cuckoo for just buy Brighton. Because right now they have João Pedro, they have Moses Caicedo, they have
The goalkeeper.
Robert Sanchez, they have Marc Cucurella.
And
All
that midfielder was his
for
name again?
Brighton. Caicedo now.
Okay, Caicedo, yeah.
Yes, all from Brighton.
Brighton.
Well, I hope they can brighten Chelsea squad and they continue to move up on an awkward trajectory. Now, Chelsea are taking care of their business, but apart from Liverpool and maybe Man City, the same cannot be said for their other rivals. Sabubu, which is another question, something else I want us to talk about, and you two, the fans, we could put mouth. What's happening at Manchester United and at Arsenal?
Well, for United, I don't know how to go about United's case. Mbeumo has been their number one target
After Cunha.
after Cunha, right?
Yeah.
Because Højlund is as good as useless. I'm sorry to use that
So
word.
please, Sabubu, stop it. Stop it. This Højlund now, Napoli, Juventus, everybody in Italy, they are looking for
Let
him.
him go. He should go there.
Okay, no verse.
What the hell? Let him go.
No verse, no verse.
See, Mbeumo is attracting United. Let me shock you. Spurs might just buy that guy.
But actually, he already communicated to Spurs and to Brentford that he wanted to join Manchester United.
Yes, we all know that. But let me tell you why Spurs have not bought him yet. They're trying to play in that financial fair play. They have a stadium they need to pay back for. So they put that into consideration. That was why they needed to be in the Champions League. It was a must for them, right? Now, one of their players is leaving for Atletico Madrid, that Argentine.
Christian Romero.
Good. So if he goes, I won't be surprised that they're going to buy Mbeumo.
Well, aside from Mbeumo,
Then for us now,
yeah,
we all know that Noland, what's the name?
Nogard,
Zubimendi, then the guy from Valencia,
Mosquera
are likely going to be done deals. For Sesko,
Sesko, Gyökeres, Ekitike.
For Sesko's deal, Leipzig were quoting higher than what Arsenal wanted to pay. Arsenal had from the reports we got,
Yeah.
Arsenal said they would do 70 million in 3 installments.
Okay.
But they wanted 90 million.
Now.
And which is already getting the player really upset.
Okay.
Because there was already a gentleman agreement between the player and the club. Same with Gyökeres with Sporting. His buyout clause about 65. But I think when United showed interest after last now, they jacked it up to about 80 to 90. And the player has said he's not going back.
He's going on strike.
Yes, so that is it. If they can agree on a certain fee and the payment structure,
yeah,
then one of those 2 deals will go through.
Now, I just have one concern personally. When you identify a problem position in your squad as a team, e.g. now, Arsenal have been playing without a prolific striker
for 3 years.
For 3-4 years.
Yes.
Right? So you have a Gabriel Jesus that is out of sorts, always injured, cannot be relied upon until they put him for transfer market. There you go, they score goals. Then you now have Havertz that, is not an out-and-out striker. So is there anything stopping us now? I mean, you can go out and sign a midfielder for £100 million. What stops you from going out, being decisive, and getting your striker? Because this is the one thing that you need to complete. Arsenal have enough midfielders. Why they no go just sign striker?
I have
Arteta's number. You speak to him.
No, I'll give it to you to ask him.
Okay. No wahala. I no go verse again. But if the season starts and we now hear we have signed Nogard, who is also versatile and can play.
No. See, Arsenal are going to get 2 players, which I'm very sure about. They've identified 2 left-footed players that are going to choose one from. And as it is, Rodrigo's deal is going to be very difficult Why? If he doesn't give a go-ahead to Real Madrid that he wants to leave, then he will not come to
No,
Arsenal.
Real Madrid has already said any player that wants to leave should table a proposal
Yes.
to the club.
Yes. So
do you know what that means?
That means
Go tell the people who won't buy you, say, make them come give us money.
and you know that is they are training the player under the boss to make
Not,
the move.
not really under
in
the
the
boss
sense
per
that
se.
see, in the sense that that statement you made was very simple. We will not put you on the market. Sure, you want to go.
Yeah.
Tell your club to come or give or ask for a transfer.
Yeah.
And you know, at that point in time, you're going to pay premium for him.
Yeah.
Eberechi Eze is 68 million pounds.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about the whole thing is, Arsenal has, you know, I don't know how Better does it. He agrees personal terms with these guys, but it's just the club getting
The
club.
public terms.
The public
with the
They
club.
know the problem. But see, I wish Arsenal all the best.
Yeah.
But right now, they need 2 players more.
A right winger.
No, a left.
Yeah, from the left wing.
Then an attacker.
A right winger more.
The right winger that's
They need somebody for Martinelli and maybe a backup for Saka.
Martinelli is that Eberechi is that he can play centrally and
from
left,
that position.
Then for Nwaneri, this is Nwaneri's big season because it will be like
Play backup to Saka.
To Saka. So
yeah, another club that is struggling to get deals over the line is Barcelona. I mean, they have signed Joan Garcia from Espanyol, and they were linked with Nico Williams, agreed personal terms with him
as
and all.
today it has been stalled.
So right now we don't know. They don't put Nico Williams for store. Maybe another team
It
will
is
go buy.
it is a store. It has been stalled.
He don't store. Not be say they put that. Not be who they don't put for store. They don't store.
Stop it.
If a deal has stalled, it means say they don't put the deal for store.
Rest.
So anybody can now go Arsenal. This is an opportunity.
We don't need him any
Go
longer.
store.
It's very inconsistent.
Go store. Go.
Arsenal, you know, Arsenal has cooled down on it.
It's very inconsistent.
No, I'll see.
Be careful.
No.
Your own strikers not inconsistent.
See, I'll tell you. The strikers are there. They are dead. They've been bought already, right? You can't be making the same mistake twice. Last season was his worst numbers.
Yeah.
But when he plays for the national team, maybe because of the players he plays with.
Thank you. You have answered the question.
Understand?
You have answered the question.
So and you know, another thing about the Premiership, I keep telling people, Premiership is not a bed of roses. You come to the Premiership and it will test you to your limits.
Yeah.
To your bloody limits.
Yeah.
You understand? So I wish every club the best. Buy right, buy well.
Buy right. Because what might be left will be violence.
What's the difference with that one?
So, guys, we want to appreciate you so much for sticking with us on the show. We have news for you. Guys, this is the season finale of the Fantastics podcast. It has been a whirlwind journey. We have consistently delivered back-to-back amazing shows for you. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you to our top fans. Thank you to our supporters, to all those that have been on the show for this season. We appreciate you a lot. We are going to go for a brief break. This time around, we might not come back till August visits us. So we can come like August visit us. Sabubu. So I know you know they like to greet fans, but tell them bye-bye for some time. So that when we go holiday, they don't go to miss you.
Well, the holidays we are going for is for about 30 days. We want to recharge our batteries for the new season. We want to go out and sign players, talk to our kit manufacturers to get us new jerseys for the season. But when we come back in August, fully, we'll preview the Community Shield, we'll preview the Premiership, the Primera Liga, the Italian Serie A, the Bundesliga, and the French Championnat, and the Nigerian League, because Nigeria, our own, we are proudly Nigerians. Please subscribe to our channel, especially the YouTube channel. We need you. We need you and we need you. Till we meet in August, stay blessed.